Question number 108, Shri P.P. Sunir. Honorable Minister.
Laid on the table of the House.
Supplementary number 1, Shri P.P. Sunir.
Sir, the amount of exports to Israel since the beginning of the conflict, including equipments that aid in manufacturing weapons.
Honorable Minister.
Sir, the supplementary asked is not directly related to the question because the question focuses on our position on Palestine, our voting in the UN, the aid sent to Palestine, which I will be very happy to share with the House, sir. With regard to our exports to Israel, in particular, any export which is related directly or indirectly to munitions or military sense, that is not an information that is in the public domains.
Supplementary number 2, Shri P.P. Sunir.
The position of the Government of India on the International Court of Justice warrant against Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and former Israel Defense Minister Yoav Gallant and a Hamas leader for war crimes, in accordance with international law and rule-based global order.
Honorable Minister.
Sir, the honourable member would be aware that India is not a member of the International Criminal Court. When the International Criminal Court was constituted, the question of our membership was considered. For very good reasons, after a great deal of deliberation, India decided not to become a member. So, with regard to any decision passed by the ICC, it is not binding on us. So, it is not a matter on which we have taken a formal position.
Third supplementary, Shri Tiruchi Siva.
Thank you, Chairman, sir. Sir, it's very hard content to know from the Minister that India extends humanitarian assistance to the people of Palestine both bilaterally and through United Nations Relief and Work Agency. But a resolution has come upon 27th of October 2023 in the UN. That is protection of civilians and upholding legal and humanitarian obligations. Which resolution India has abstained, sir? Sir, both are contradictory. Why India should abstain such a genuine resolution?
Honorable Minister.
Sir, India has given assistance to the people of Palestine at this particular time. I would like, sir, through you to bring to the notice of the House that we make an annual contribution of $5 million to the UNRWA, which is the main assistance providing agency. This amount traditionally used to be $1 million. So during the time of under the decision taken by this government, it was raised from $1 million to $5 million. In recent times, in terms of the conflict, sir, we have provided 70 metric tons of aid, of which 16.5 was of medicines in 2023. We have given 65 metric tons of medicines to Palestinian Authority and to UNRWA in 2024. We have provided 33 metric tons of medicines to Lebanon. Now, with regard to the particular resolution, sir, which the honourable member referred to, we abstain. In fact, during this period, sir, there have been in the General Assembly a number of resolutions. We have voted in favour of many. We have abstained on some. Generally, when we abstain, the reasons are the resolution is not balanced. The resolution is more divisive. The resolution can set a precedent which has consequences for us. The resolution has larger implications. In this particular case, sir, we felt that the resolution was not well drafted, it was not well considered. We had reservations on the language. Our concerns were not accommodated, and that is why we abstained.
And as a matter of fact, I think the entire House knows, India has been virtually first responder when there are issues of earthquake, requirement of medicines, even during COVID. And that soothing input I get from foreign dignitaries calling on me or I calling on them. So that, I think, goes to the credit of this House and the government. See, because we have been, as a matter of fact, when it comes to when it comes to evacuation, when it comes to security on high seas, when it comes to supplying medicine during COVID, now these are the inputs I'm not saying. The people have expressed their gratitude to me, and therefore I am sharing with the House. Shri Saket Gokhale, supplementary number 4.
Thank you so much, sir.
Tiruchiji, the Honorable Minister has given, I'm sure you'll appreciate with your experience, very exhaustive answer that being abstention on a resolution is driven by several circumstances. The script of the resolution, the consequence of the resolution, its long-term impact. It is not simpliciter that it expresses what you indicated. That, as a matter of fact, is driven by our civilization. Wherever there is a need for humanity, we have been supplying, and sometimes, in toughest of situations, diplomatic also. Saket Gokhale.
Sir, thank you very much. Let me express gratitude to the Honourable Minister for the fact that India has always, and previous governments, that India has always been a supporter of a two-state solution in Israel and Palestine, and for the aid that is being sent by the Indian government. Sir, because the question pertains to India's position on Palestine, I have two very specific questions on which I would like to know the government of India's position. Number one, the Honourable Minister just said that we've been providing $5 million of aid to the UNRWA. The UNRWA has now been banned by the Israeli government. So what mechanism, what is our position on UNRWA being banned, and how are we sending aid? And the second point on which I want to know the position is that India has traditionally always, including this government, supported a two-state solution. In the United Nations, we abstained on a resolution against Israeli illegal settlements in the West Bank. What is India's position on the illegal settlements made by Israel in the West Bank and Palestine, sir?
Before the Honourable Minister responds, the little I gathered in diplomacy, if you win a battle by argument, you lose it. Honourable Minister.
Thank you, sir. Sir, regarding our support and contribution to the UNRWA, this is a decision which we took as a government. We continue to stand by that decision, and we have in fact just released the latest tranche of support to the UNRWA. So I hope the member is reassured on that score. Regarding the two-state solution, we support a two-state solution, and we have been public and unambiguous about that. So I think there should be no cause for confusion regarding two-state solution. Regarding, sir, resolutions, both what the honourable member asked and what the previous honourable member also asked, again, sir, it depends. Resolutions have implications, as you noted. Their wording is important. For example, in the question, the resolution which the previous member had referred to, sir, there was no reference to terrorism. There was no reference to hostage-taking. So, in our mind, a resolution which does not reflect the entirety of the situation is not a balanced resolution. And a country like India, which is itself a victim of terrorism, if we countenance the fact that terrorism is underplayed and ignored, it is not in our interest that we do so. So when we look at any resolution, we look at the wording, we take a very, very mature view about it. And I want to say, as a matter of principle, we, sir, condemn terrorism, we condemn hostage-taking. We do believe countries have a right to respond to these situations, but countries should be mindful of civilian casualties. They must observe humanitarian law, And we would like a ceasefire and an early end to violence. Our position has been very, very clear, but we would like this duly reflected in well-worded resolutions which are balanced.
Question. Last supplementary, Dr. John Britas. Dr. John Britas.
Thank you very much, sir. Sir, the Honorable Minister has got extensive experience and expertise. He is hands-on all these issues.
I think no one disputes that.
No one disputes.
Okay, go ahead.
So I would refer to the diplomatic facet of an issue, which I hope that Minister would sincerely respond to. Is it a fact that Palestine Authority's Minister of State on Foreign Affairs met our ambassador, Ms. Renu Yadav, requesting to reconsider arms sales to Israel due to their usage against Palestinian civilians, and also the need for international pressure on Israel to stop their violence on Gaza? If so, what has been the response of the ministry? Thank you, sir.
Honorable Minister, and the Honorable Member seeks sincere response.
Sir, so the issue of India's exports, including India's exports of anything which directly or indirectly has any military implications, is guided by our national interest and by our commitments to various regimes. So we are very responsible members of various international regimes, including the Wassenaar Arrangement. We have an export control and licensing process, and we take decisions regarding any exports which is based on what we consider to be our national interest. Where Israel is concerned, it is a country with which we have a strong record of cooperation in national security. It is also a country that has stood by us at different moments when our national security was under threat. So when we take any decision, we will bear in mind, obviously, the larger circumstances, but we will definitely be driven by our national interest in this matter.